This woman, in order to change her destiny, wanted to hatch this 1,000-year-old dragon egg fossil with scorching flames. After a long time, no miracle appeared. Just as she picked up the glowing red dragon egg in disappointment, a handmaiden who had rushed over saw her and hurried forward to stop her. But she found that the woman's hand was completely unharmed, while she herself was deeply scarred. She is the dragon mother who gave birth to 3 true dragons from the fire, and also the last dragon rider on this continent. However, her previous destiny was extremely difficult. Her brother sold her to the leader of a barbarian tribe to restore his kingdom, but the dragon mother did not accept her fate. Instead, she gradually gained a foothold in the Dothraki tribe. After she ate a horse heart raw, the dragon mother's position in the Dothraki tribe was completely solidified. Viserys looked at his sister, who was held high by the call. He knew that his hope of restoring the kingdom was shattered, so he prepared to steal the 3 dragon egg fossils. He planned to sell them for an army and ships to start anew. However, Jorah discovered him. Viserys reluctantly had to give up. After failing to steal the eggs, he used alcohol to make a scene at the dragon mother's public ceremony and threatened her with a knife pointed at her belly, saying, "I just want what belongs to me. I just want the crown that the Khal promised me." His threatening actions touched the Khal's bottom line. So he agreed to Viserys. He says, "Yes, you shall have a golden crown that men shall tremble to behold." But the next second, the Khal had his men control him. Then he melted the gold in a pot. Seeing this, Viserys was scared and he hurriedly begged the dragon mother for mercy. But this time, the dragon mother did not plead for her brother. Instead, she watched without blinking as he wore that burning hot crown, because she knew that even if she gave this brother an army, he would never be able to reclaim the Iron Throne and never be able to take her home. He is a new dragon. Fire cannot kill a dragon. This day, the dragon mother finally brought up the matter of crossing the narrow sea to reclaim the throne with the Khal, but the Khal was indifferent, saying that he already had the Dothraki, so why bother reclaiming the Iron Throne? He refused the dragon mother's proposal. The next day, she wanted Jorah to persuade the Khal, but before she could finish, Jorah said he had something to do and left temporarily. The scene shifts, and Jorah receives a letter of pardon. It turns out he was sent by Robert to monitor the dragon mother. At this time, the dragon mother and her guard came to a merchant. Just as he was about to take the merchant's wine, Jorah stopped him in time. Then he poured a cup and handed it to the merchant, telling him to drink it. The merchant looked at the wine in his hand and hesitated, because he knew it was meant to poison the dragon mother. No one knows when Jorah, who was a spy, had already been conquered by the dragon mother. When the Khal found out about this, he was furious. He originally wanted to be a stable tribal leader, but his beloved was assassinated by the enemy. So, the Khal furiously decided to cross the narrow sea and help the dragon mother reclaim the throne. His command was to kill those in iron clothes and tear down their stone houses. He wanted to give the reclaimed Iron Throne to his unborn son. Does everyone remember Azor Ahai? After that, the Dothraki began to plunder villages, accumulating wealth and preparing for many ships. The dragon mother, seeing all this, couldn't bear it, so she rescued a group of villagers, and this kind act of the dragon mother would come at a heavy price. When the Khal's subordinates found out, they were unwilling, because those were their spoils of war. So, one of the leaders openly challenged the Khal's authority, but in a few moves, he was easily dealt with. Although the Khal won the victory, he still suffered a slight injury. At this time, a witch he had just rescued said she could heal him, but captives here had no say, and the Khal didn't care about this small injury. But seeing the dragon mother's insistent expression, he still agreed. Part tut. However, the next day, the Khal fell heavily from his horse due to an infected wound. Jorah told the dragon mother that he would not survive the night, then urged her to escape quickly, because here people only worship strength. After the Khal's death, the tribe would inevitably fall into chaos, and she would be the spoils of the victor. But the dragon mother said she would not leave the Khal. At this time, the witch came to the tent and said she could save him, but the condition was that only death could buy life. Then the witch saved the Khal with blood magic, but the dragon mother's child died prematurely because of this. The dragon mother thought that death for life meant the life of that horse, but she did not expect it to be her own unborn child. The dragon mother stumbled out of the tent. At this time, the Dothraki had fallen apart. apart. The only ones left with her were Jorah and a few old and infirm. The Dragon Mother finally saw the rescued Khal, but he had become a vegetable. At this time, the witch told the truth. When treating the Khal's wound, she had tampered with it, because all her relatives had died at the hands of the Dothraki, and the purpose of treating him was to seek revenge. The Dragon Mother did not expect that because of her kindness, she had lost the person she loved most. At night, seeing the Khal as a vegetable, the Dragon Mother was heartbroken. She knew that if the Khal had chosen himself, he would definitely not want to live like this. So, with tears in her eyes, she personally ended the life of her beloved. Then she ordered the dragon eggs and the Khal to be placed together. Then she had the guards tie the witch to the funeral pyre as well. The Dragon Mother looked at the few people who were still willing to follow her and said, "I am the dragon's daughter, and I swear to you that those who would..." After speaking, the Dragon Mother slowly lit the funeral pyre. Along with the witch's painful wails, the Dragon Mother resolutely walked into the flames. When everything was burned to ashes the next day, Jorah prepared to collect the Dragon Mother's remains, but found that not only was the Dragon Mother unharmed, but 3 young dragons also appeared beside her. It turned out that she was the true child of the dragon. Everyone bowed down in worship. From then on, the Dragon Mother had another title, Stormborn, Mother of Dragons. Although the Dragon Mother gave birth to 3 true dragons, she didn't know what to feed them. All the information about dragons was learned from her brother, but her brother actually knew nothing. After the Khal's death, the Dragon Mother, in order to stay away from Dothraki, led her few tribesmen on a new journey. In this vast wasteland, there was a lack of water and food, and the wedding gift the Khal gave her also fell to the ground due to severe dehydration. Looking at the lifeless white horse, the Dragon Mother was helpless at this time. She had promised her people to protect them. She had sworn to make their enemies starve to death, but now everyone was no match for the famine. In order to get out of this red wasteland, the Dragon Mother ordered the 3 strongest people in the tribe to search for the nearest city-state and possible wounded in 3 different directions. Whatever they found, they had to come back and report. After a long wait, the first one to return was only a horse, and that person's head was cut off. After Jorah confirmed, he learned that it was forced by those who betrayed the Dragon Mother. The second returning guard told the Dragon Mother that 3 days to the east there was a castle named Qarth, and her newly changed horse and the water she brought back were also given by the 13, the magnates of the city. He also said that it was their honor to welcome the Mother of Dragons. Jorah was a little uneasy about this, because he knew that the people there would not be so kind. But at this time, the Dragon Mother had no way out, so she took her tribesmen to Qarth. When the Dragon Mother saw the welcoming party, she felt that it was not as described by the guard. At this time, a bald, fat man walked out of the team. "My name is Daenerys Stormborn of the House Targaryen." The Dragon Mother's unfinished sentence was interrupted. That person began to proudly introduce himself and the 13 behind him. Then he began to make things difficult, saying that if they wanted to enter the city, they must show them the dragons. But at this time, the dragons were still very weak, and the Dragon Mother did not agree out of protection. Seeing that he failed to achieve his goal, the fat man arrogantly told the Dragon Mother to go back where she came from. The Dragon Mother was angry watching the people turn to leave. "When I become a magic dragon, I will retrieve what I have stolen and destroy what I have stolen." At this time, one of the 13 walked out, named Xaro. He guaranteed the Dragon Mother's people and dragons in his own name. In this way, the Dragon Mother entered this castle with her dragons. After finding a place to stay, the Dragon Mother began to slowly understand the habits of dragons. The dragons were growing day by day, and now the largest dragon could eat by itself. After that, the Dragon Mother began to prepare for crossing the narrow sea, and the first person to offer an olive branch was Xaro. He was attracted to this woman who had no money, no supplies, and no affairs, but owned 3 dragons. He kept showing off his wealth in front of the Dragon Mother and talked about how he started from scratch to have everything he had now. At this time, the Dragon Mother asked him why he was willing to bleed for her outside the city gate. "I will show you why." Then he took the Dragon Mother to his basement, saying that this door was built by the most skilled locksmith in Qarth. If anyone could enter, they would get gold equivalent to their height. He also said that he had invited the most powerful powerful thieves. But in the end, they could only return empty-handed, and the only key to open this door was in his hand. Then Xaro said that he could let the Dragon Mother take half of the wealth inside, which would be enough for her to buy horses, ships, and an army. The Dragon Mother knew that he must have conditions, and she would also pay a price. The Dragon Mother gazed deeply at the door behind her that could take her home and fell into thought. On the other side, Jorah met a witch at a banquet. She told Jorah that at this time, the Dragon Mother most needed a true guardian. Enemies would come day and night to admire the miracle of the true dragon's rebirth, and the dragon's flesh and blood were made of fire. Although Jorah did not understand the meaning of her words, he also knew that the 13 were definitely not good-hearted. At night, Jorah found the Dragon Mother and wanted her to be more vigilant. But the two had a big argument because of Xaro. The Dragon Mother did not want to give up the opportunity in front of her, while Jorah hoped she would be more cautious and not be dominated for a lifetime for ships and an army. He hoped the Dragon Mother would rely on herself because they only needed to find a ship and a captain to cross the narrow sea. Under Jorah's persuasion, the Dragon Mother temporarily gave up the idea of marrying Xaro. Then she found the fat spice merchant, hoping he could provide her with ships, and promised to repay him threefold if she won the throne in the future. But the fat man said that business should be pragmatic and did not want to invest in her daydream. Unable to find a ship, the Dragon Mother returned to her residence in disappointment. However, she found the courtyard full of corpses. She realized something was wrong and quickly went upstairs. What she saw was bodies lying on the ground. What made her even more desperate was that her dragons were also gone. She couldn't believe that she had just led her people out of the Red Wasteland, only to come to another slaughterhouse. Jorah blamed himself, saying he should have stayed by the Dragon Mother's side and not let her be alone with the 13, because they were all untrustworthy. However, this sentence angered the Dragon Mother. She told Jorah, "Now do I have anyone I can trust? My brother was my only family, and for the crown he would sell me to the Dothraki. And the Dothraki? From the day Drogo Khal fell off his horse, most of them betrayed me." Then the Dragon Mother said that she would never trust anyone again, because she didn't need to anymore. Jorah looked at the disheartened Dragon Mother and begged. Then Jorah found the mysterious witch who had warned him at the banquet. She saw through Jorah's purpose at a glance, but said that the dragons were not there. Then the witch said what Jorah was thinking. "You wish to please the mother of dragons because you love her." Facing this mysterious woman who could foresee the future, Jorah felt fear, but still firmly stated that he would never betray the Dragon Mother again. With Jorah's assurance, the witch told him the whereabouts of the dragons. "The thief you are looking for is with her right now." At the same time, the Dragon Mother also found the 13. Now that she had lost her 3 dragons, she no longer had her previous confidence. She began to sincerely beg these people, hoping they could help her find her children. But the 13 had already grasped the Dragon Mother's fate. How could they agree to her? The fat spice merchant arrogantly said, "Dragons only bring death and pain to the world. Even if I knew where they were, I wouldn't tell her." At this time, the warlock said that was too cruel. He should let the mother of dragons reunite with her children. Then he said that the dragons were in her house of the undying. Now the warlock no longer concealed. He told the Dragon Mother, "When I learned you were coming to our city, I was with Qarth after..." To be continued.